Talks between the Indian government and the youth-led Cockroach Janta Party failed to make any headway, with protesters sticking to their demand for the education minister to step down, following alleged leaks in national examination papers. The 2-hour-long meeting ending in deadlock, the talks coming hours after activist Sonam Wangchuk ended a 26-day hunger strike. Thousands of young protesters have vowed to continue their demonstrations until the minister steps down. The government has asked for more time and says it will respond on Saturday. Now, that's when talks are set to resume. The movement emerging as one of the biggest youth challenges to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government since he took office in 2014. Our correspondents have been watching developments for CNA. Neha, Poonia from New Delhi and Priyata, Brajabasi in Bengaluru. Neha, let's start with you. We've mentioned one of the key demands by this youth-led movement. Reportedly, the government is prepared to make some concessions, or even so, no agreement.
That's right. This was the second time they were meeting in a week, Vesu, and this meeting lasted 2 hours. What's important is that this was held at a neutral venue, which was a key demand put forth by the Cockroach Janta Party. But if you see the video of the meeting, you can see the amount of distrust that both sides have towards each other. They're both sitting with their arms crossed. There's no camaraderie in that room, and we can see that play out in the kind of comments that have been made after the meeting. The Cockroach Janta Party telling the media and protesters that the government has said it needs 24 hours to consider their demands. The CJP claiming that the government is willing to grant compensation to the families of those students who died by suicide following that exam leak scandal. Also that there is, at least willingness on the government's part to consider not filing any cases or legally prosecuting students that marched towards Parliament earlier in the week, in a march that the police called illegal because there was no permission for it. But the sticking point remains the demand that the protesters have put forth for the education minister's resignation. The government came out and said it was a good meeting. They listened to what the protesters and their representatives had to say, but they've not made any assurances. They say they're going to go back and talk about it. But so far, we've seen there's been no willingness to engage on that key demand, which is the education minister's resignation. But Abhijit Dipke, the founder of this movement, seemingly drawing a red line, saying that or nothing, listening to what he told protesters and to CNA earlier in the day.
This protest is the voice of the youth that has been disappointed and frustrated with the government because of irregularities in the examination and because of unemployment.
And with this, the CJP is saying if the government doesn't give in to their demand to see Dharmendra Pradhan go, they will hold an even bigger demonstration in the week ahead. And we have seen the government is feeling some of the pressure because numbers at the protest site, Vesu, have been swelling every single day.
All right, Priyata, you heard that from Neha. She's in Delhi. You are in Bengaluru. Of course, protests not confined to Delhi. You're also seeing it in Mumbai and Bengaluru and other cities as well. What's the mood like when you were at the protest site earlier today? Priyata, would you be able to hear
So I'm just a few kilometers away from... So I'm just a few kilometers away from Freedom Park, which is also known as Bengaluru's Jantar Mantar. And through this week, there have been students, parents, members of civil society, youth wings of various opposition political parties gathering here in small and large numbers through the week in solidarity with the Cockroach Janta Party and its demands. I have been at the protest site all day on Friday, and I have been speaking to protesters here. And they say that apart from demanding the resignation of the Education Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, they are also protesting against what they call severe police brutality witnessed in the national capital and also in Mumbai earlier this week. Protesters are also saying that the measures measures announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday, where he said that cases will be fast-tracked in courts pertaining to examination leaks, and that the highest punishments will be awarded to those who are responsible. Those steps or those measures, protesters say, are not enough. They feel that if the government is serious about making significant reforms to the education system, they need to start with the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan. Let's listen in to some of these voices from Bengaluru earlier today.
We are just here for the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan, because if this happens, there is accountability. We chose this system. We have the right to show our dissent with the government.
What we should really look for is a complete overhauling of the system. We should definitely be looking to stem the rot. A lot of this, is stuff that has been festering for many, many years. It will not be something that will change overnight, but we really, I think, will be happy to see signs and a kind of determination from the government that they really do want to change things.
So the Cockroach Janta Party and its supporters in Bengaluru, in New Delhi and across the country have been saying time and again that they are willing to wait the government out on this issue. The Cockroach Janta Party called for a nationwide protest on Friday and have also called for protest over the weekend. And protesters here in Bengaluru and across the country say that they are more than willing to adhere to that call.
Priyata, thanks for that. Neha, Poonia earlier reporting for CNA live from New Delhi, and of course Priyata, Brajabasi for us there in Bengaluru, both in India. Thank you.